Find insight, guidance, and answers. Tune into Spirit with radio medium Laura Lee.
Hey, welcome back. If you've ever wondered what your pet would say if they could talk, you need to stay tuned in. I have animal communicator Nick Musica joining us for our Spirit Reboot to reveal how your furry friends are guiding you with love, lessons, and healing. Welcome, Nick.
Howdy, Laura. Thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure. Hey, Nick, I read that you spent like 20-some years in the business world coaching people and then transitioned over to animal communication. How did you discover that you could talk to the animals?
So I went to a psychic fair and I saw a medium, and I didn't believe in mediums at the time, but I saw a medium, Adelita is her name, who I thought would be good for my wife for whatever reason. I said, "Hey, Jewel, what do you think of her?" And my wife said, "That sounds great, but you're going to sit down first." When I sat down, she says, "My guides are showing me Dr. Doolittle. They're showing me that you can talk to animals and it's going to be easy for you." I never heard anything more truthful in my life, and I could not tell you why. And that's how it all started for me.
Yeah, I love it. I read that pets' challenging behavior like biting or having accents are, hold deep meaning. Can you share a story that illustrates this?
Yeah, so I had a lady come to me and she said, "My little chihuahua was biting people. Can you tell him to stop?" And so I tune into the little chihuahua and the dog says, "You got to ask her about her job." And I said, "Well, why am I talking about her job?" "Because that's what has to change." Okay. So I got on the line and she says, "Did you tell my dog to stop biting people?" And I go, "Well, what'd you talk about?" "What do you do for a living?" "I'm unemployed." "No, you're not." "How do you make money?" "I'm a private driver, Uber, limousine, that type of thing." "Okay. How's that going for you?" "Well, my back is a mess. And after driving around for about an hour or so, it's all irritated. My doctor tells me I shouldn't even do it." And I tell her what the dog said. And then as I'm telling her what the dog said, I get this quick flash of roses. They say, "What do you do with roses?" And she says, "Well, I paint roses on vases and I give them away." It's like, oh, this is fascinating. So take a look at the two pieces of information showing up. One brings you down, causes you pain, and the other lifts her up. And not only her, but everyone else, because she gives the thing away. So less of this and more of this was the message.
I love those stories. So many people are feeling isolated and disconnected from their intuition these days. So how can connecting to our pets help us grow spiritually and emotionally?
A great question. So animals are so tricky and they're so simple all at the same time. The tricky part is our perception of them. I mean, they are the most straight shooters, not trying to hide anything. It's not a game. And so when we take a look at our own animals, there's two behaviors they frequently show to us that we are sort of blind to. There's mirroring behavior, there's modeling behavior. In the case of the young lady and the job, that was mirroring behavior. I'm angry, you're angry. I'm showing you what you are. I'm biting people, right? But the dog has a behavioral problem. Well, not in this case. The dog is showing you how you're showing up.
So let's give our listeners an easy exercise that can help someone begin to tune into their pet's message.
I would start with how you communicate with animals. My little boy cat is on the coffee table. I will say, "Get off the coffee table." And so what I'm saying doesn't really map to what I'm seeing. It's confusing from a cat's perspective. So I've changed my language to say, "Get on the blanket." When he's on the table, I ask him to do what I actually want him to do. And I'm not in an irritated state because that energy comes through.
Right. How can our listeners tell the difference between their own thoughts and intuitive messages coming from an animal?
Oh, that's a really good one. And really, the right answer is practice. But if you can develop quiet, there's going to be places in your life, ideally, where quiet shows up. For me, when I'm quiet, I'm available to receive. We're not available to receive if we're always anxious, if we're always running around with our hair on fire. And it's a muscle. You get to train it. You got to learn to be quiet, and you got to learn to wait and learn to hear the subtleties. And once you can do that, you will start to question, was that my thought? Because I really wasn't thinking about X, Y, and Z, but it just sort of plopped into my head. And that's how intuition can show up for a lot of people.
This has been a beautiful conversation. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. So, Nick, where can people find you and your services?
You can find me at nickmusica.com.
Wonderful. If you like this episode and you want more, remember to subscribe. Please share this with your family and friends and rate it. We'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Semi was in the center lane and just turned right in front of us. Decided I needed to get a hold of an attorney. Never really heard anything from this attorney for 2 years. Decided I couldn't use him no more. I contacted Konoski Bresney. I mean, he did more in 2 weeks than that other attorney did in 3 years. I could definitely not have done this on my own if it wasn't for Todd. Sorry. He changed my life.
Why do you need a personal injury lawyer? Hi, I'm Todd Bresney of Konoski Bresney. When you are harmed, insurance companies should compensate you fully and fairly. But they're in the business of caring about their own bottom lines and not about your losses. At Konoski Bresney, we get your worth. For close to 50 years, we've been your hometown attorneys. So call Konoski Bresney at 888, the letter U, count and the number 2, or see me on the web at bresneylaw.com. It won't cost you a thing to see if we can help.